Okay, welcome everyone. Hope everyone can hear me okay. Luckily I was able to skip through those ads so we could just go right on here. No wasting time. Thought we'd just get right into the list of today's foods that we wanted to make sure that we're adding to our diet. So if you guys can hear me, I'll just wait a little bit because I know some people have to go through the ad process and just have to wait a little bit. But for everyone that can hear me or will hear this later, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for the support. And I really hope that you guys are able to take something away from this stream today. I want to go over, last time it was kind of more piecemeal, food by food. Today we're going to do the same. We'll go over individual foods, but we'll go over groups of foods as well. So it's not just going to be the exact same thing as last time. I want to really kind of deep dive again today. You know, what's super easy that we can add to our diets today? Maybe something we might have overlooked or something we might not have given consideration to before, or maybe even something we haven't even heard about. A lot of times that can happen when I'm giving my consultations. You know, I'll bring up a food or maybe a spice or a herb or something along those lines, and it's something that they've never even really heard before. So maybe, you know, that might be the case for you. Always good to learn something new. And that's, you know, what my goal is for today. Maybe I'll learn something new from you guys as well. So, you know, it's a give and take as always. So, like I said, I'll let some people come in. Hopefully everyone can hear me. If someone in chat can just let me know that they can, that'd be great. That way I know I'm not just talking to myself, or maybe some of the software is not working. So just let me know in chat if you can actually hear me, and that'd be wonderful. Thank you so much for the thumbs up too, guys. So like I said, we're talking about foods you should add to your diet today. Now, there's a couple important parts of that sentence, you know, should add. Remember how I told you, you know, you don't necessarily have to, all right, do something or should do something, all right? Ismail, thank you so much. Hello to you. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Thank you so much for letting me know that you can hear. I appreciate it. Thumbs up right back. Thank you. But remember how we talked a little bit about foods, you know, like I said, the title, foods you should add to your diet. I want to talk about why I used the word should, all right? And why I didn't say, Dorcas, thank you. Well, thank you for waiting. I appreciate that, all right? Why I use should, all right, and why I use today, because I wanted to keep it simple. Foods that you can just easily go out, all right, grab, all right, and then immediately add into your diet, all right. Now, should is kind of the hot word there, all right. It's not have to or that you need in your diet. I could have put need in your diet, but everyone's needs are different, all right. These are going to be the ones that should be in your diet, all right, or that you might want to think about being in your diet. So we're going to touch on. Here's the two main factors, guys, that we have to keep in mind, all right? A lot of people think micronutrients, all right? When we talk about like vitamin C, riboflavin, potassium, things like that. But we're also going to be talking a little bit about macronutrients as well. So big picture, smaller picture, all right? And then we'll get into all that different stuff as well, all right? So for the first one, all right, here's something that most people aren't getting enough of, all right? So they should be adding into their diet, because if you're not getting enough of this, all right, you're probably going to have a lot of issues through your digestive system and digestive health and constipation issues and really even nutrient absorption throughout the body, all right? So the first one is going to be some type of probiotic, all right? A food that has probiotics in it. Okay, so why do we want probiotics? Now, you can have it by foods or you can take it as a supplement. It doesn't matter. All right, I take a supplement and I get it through foods. Some days I won't even take the supplement. All right, but you know, a food that you should have in your diet, all right, we want proper gut health. We're finding more and more of the importance of proper gut health. All right, so probiotics is a big one. Okay, so what are some foods that we can immediately add for probiotics? Well, one would be yogurt. That's probably your easiest one. All right, yogurt with active bacterial cultures. All right, or you could just take a supplement. It's that easy. But I think that the yogurt is probably the easiest one. Kefir has a little bit as well. You'll get some through Greek yogurt. I like the plain no sugar yogurt, to be honest with you, as the yogurt kind of my go-to. That I'm getting good probiotics that way. You could also have sauerkraut, things like that. But the first ones that should be added to your diet. Again, a lot of people go for fancy things when I'm doing consultations, thinking they need this, thinking they need that. All right, the first one that I'll give out to them, all right, or one of the first, there's usually 4 or 5. We're not going to get into all these today because this is not a training episode. But the first one that I will offer up to them is a probiotic. And why is that? Because it's going to help increase overall gut health. All right, so probiotics are super important, guys, especially in today's world. I mean, where we're dealing with things like not even constipation, irregularity, bloating, gas, things like that. I'm talking about leaky gut syndrome, irritable bowel syndrome. All right, the prevalence of those health issues, digestive health issues, is on the rise just as much as anything else, if not more. There's more people with leaky gut syndrome today than there ever was. All right, so the first one, probiotics. And again, you could add it through yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, anything like that. But make sure we have good probiotics. All right, and if you guys have something, throw it out in chat. I would love to hear your guys' answers or what you think might be interesting to add to your diet. All right, but probiotics are going to be one of the more important and essential things in your diet. As we learn more and more about gut health, it's important that we are adding foods that have probiotics in them. Prebiotics as well, and we touched a little bit about that on our last video, all right, with lemon juice, onion juice, things like that. You're going to get good prebiotics from that as well. But probiotics and prebiotics, guys, the probiotics being the big one, all right, healthy bacteria, healthy good gut bacteria, very important. Again, if we want proper digestion, we want to get the most out of the foods that we're eating, we need to have good gut health. It just comes down to that. All right, so yogurt's a very simple one that you can add for that. Sauerkraut's another good one. Cabbage is a good one. Things on that nature, guys. So first one will be probiotics. Let me know what you guys think about that. If you're eating probiotics right now, if you have that in your diet, all right. A lot of people don't or aren't really thinking about probiotics. So if you don't have it in your diet, that's 100% fine. All right, it's something that you can add today. It's not tough to go out and buy yogurt or to even go out and purchase a supplement. All right, just make sure. I think the cheaper route is the food. The supplements can run up there quite a bit. So if you are supplementing, again, maybe even if you're wanting to save a little bit of money, all right, take it every other day. Or you could take it on days where you're not eating the foods that are high in probiotics. Now let's stay on this route of foods that you should add to your diet. All right, we're talking about digestive health. Let's stay on this path for just a little bit. Sorry guys, I'm just gonna take a quick drink of coffee. And don't be afraid to speak in chat, guys. Give me your feedback. Feedback is driving the live here. So always great to see who's in here. Let me know what you guys are thinking, and then we can get more discussion going on from that as well. But let's keep that on the path of proper digestion. I cannot say how important digestive health is for our overall health. So the next one, the foods that we're going to want to add to our diet or should add to our diet today are high fiber foods. All right, foods that are high in fiber. And then even, the reason why I added these right after the probiotics, all right, so if we're trying to increase good gut bacteria throughout the digestive tract, remember, it's good gut bacteria, but it's really good bacteria throughout the whole digestive tract. That's why our digestive health is improving. So we want to add both soluble and insoluble fiber. The soluble fiber is the really important one. All right, the soluble fiber is going to be what's going to acting as food for good bacteria in our gut. And it's going to help it to thrive, and it's going to create a good environment in there for the good bacteria in our gut to thrive. So soluble fiber, insoluble fiber, at the very least, we want to increase our fiber intake. So fiber, very important. We need fiber in our diet. It's actually recommended that we get about 30 grams of fiber per day. So some foods that you should add to your diet if you're not eating them. What are some really high fiber foods? Well, some of my favorites, let me just go over them for you. So, we could talk about nuts and seeds, but they're a little bit high in calories. You'd have to eat quite a lot of them to hit that fiber intake, to get that 30 grams. Calories would just be too high. All right, so calories would just be too high. They're a good source of fiber, yes, but there's even better ones out there. So let's talk about some better ones. All right, so one really good source of fiber would be any type, and this is why I love them, any type of beans. So it could be black beans, kidney beans, anything. Pinto beans, chickpeas, things like that, even lentils, legumes. All right, if you have 1 cup of black beans, I believe you're getting pretty close to almost 100%, if not over 100%. I think it might be like 75%, 80% of your daily recommended value of fiber. How amazing is that? And it's high in soluble fiber as well. It's not just insoluble fiber. So any type of beans, guys, if we're trying to increase fiber, beans are the perfect choice for us. And the thing that we can do with beans, you can go out, find them in any market, and then add them into your diet in a number of different ways. If we went over all the recipes that have beans in them, we would be on here for the next day. We'd be on here for 12 hours straight talking about recipes with beans in them. So very easy to add to the diet. So foods that you should add to your diet, foods that are high in fiber, because a lot of people are low in fiber. We see this with digestive health studies. Leaky gut syndrome, constipation, irritable bowel syndrome, all on the rise. Increased inflammation throughout the digestive system. Diverticulitis, things like that, all on the rise. So it's important that first we got those prebiotic foods, your yogurts, kefir, sauerkraut, cabbage, and then we step it up a little bit. We feed that good bacteria with our fiber, especially soluble fiber. So beans are a good one. And any type of beans will work, guys. A lot of people ask me, should I eat black beans over kidney beans? Should I have navy beans over chickpeas? Doesn't matter, guys. Anyone will do. Trust me. As long as it's low sodium. So sometimes you can buy beans that are like canned, that have added sodium to it, added preservatives, things like that. Stay away from that. Try to get them, if it is canned's fine. It's the easiest way. But wash them first, or just there's low sodium options out there for you as well. All right. Or you can just buy them raw. Either way, it's even, I think, a little bit cheaper to do that. All right, you just have to store them in a cool, dark place when you do that. So again, we want the probiotics. Those are the foods that you should be adding to your diet. That's one of the major ones. I have like a top 4, top 5 list. I never overdo it with my consultations, because then people are just having to get this, having to get that. Don't overdo it, guys. Simplify it. Probiotic is very important for our digestive health. Good gut bacteria. If we add the probiotic, all right, so supplement, yogurt, kefir, cabbage, all that other good stuff, sauerkraut, which we already talked about. Now we're going to want to feed that good bacteria. High fiber foods, guys. So we got beans. What else is there? Black beans is an amazing one. I think beans, you can't go wrong eating beans, guys. Not even just for the fiber. All right, so adding beans to the diet, tremendous for weight loss, nutrients, micronutrients, all that good stuff. All right, just make sure if you're eating beans, know what type of macronutrient you're eating. It's a complex carbohydrate. It's going to have some protein in it as well. So complex carbohydrate, protein, very little fat. Sorry as I take a drink of coffee here. Now, are beans the only high fiber food that we should be adding to our diet? No, probably not. And remember, this isn't a should. You have to go out and get this stuff, okay? Just think of it as a kind of a reminder, things that you might want to add to your diet. So beans is a good one. Another great one, oatmeal, okay? Oatmeal is a great one for you guys, all right? Again, super high in soluble fiber. One of the best dietary fiber grains out there, all right? And grains we'll touch on a little bit, all right? Excellent choice there as well. I'll give you one more after this one. So oatmeal, amazing in fiber, high soluble fiber, and a complex carbohydrate. And it's super high in micronutrients, which is great. It's kind of giving us our trifecta right there for a healthy digestive system. And, foods that we can go out and easily buy, and foods that we can easily add to our diet. All right, so oatmeal might be one of the ones that you consider. Okay, so oatmeal is a great one for you guys. If you don't like oatmeal, all right, again, Krishna, welcome. Thank you so much. Hello to you. Great to have you in here. Perfect. So oatmeal, and like I said, oatmeal, if you're not a fan of oatmeal, there's so many ways that you can eat it. If you're not a fan of oatmeal, guys, You can add it to smoothies. That's how I eat it. I'll add it to smoothies. Honestly, cut up some apple, put a little bit of cinnamon on it, have it that way. It's great. You can add blueberries in there. So just think of how healthy that stuff is. You're adding superfoods to a superfood. All right, tremendous stuff. All right. So oatmeal might be the other one you're in there. All right. So the oatmeal is part of the larger. It's part of that larger umbrella, guys. All right. We had the probiotics. Now we're talking about fiber. All right. So now we're just sort of breaking down the fiber part. All right. And we're talking about foods that we might want to add. All right. So keep that in mind as well. I'm not saying you have to go out and add oatmeal, but oatmeal will help you get that fiber. All right, so the first two I would really say are probiotics and fiber. So foods that are high in both of those. So oatmeal is high in them, is high in fiber. Beans are high in fiber. What else is high in fiber? Any leafy green vegetable, all right, is going to be fairly high in fiber. Your best one is going to be broccoli. Broccoli is probably your best one, better than kale, better than spinach, all those other ones. All right. So broccoli is a great one to add, leafy green vegetables. Spectacular. Even like, again, your cabbage, things like that. Brussels sprouts, those types of foods. All right. Kale has a little bit, but not as much as things like broccoli when it comes to leafy green vegetables. Even things like asparagus, your zucchinis, things like that. Okay. Even artichoke will have a little bit more. Now, one last one. Let me give you one last one for fiber, because we could go on all day. I'll give you two more, actually. All right, one good one for fiber is beets. Beets are amazing for fiber and for digestive health. Why? Because it's going to cut down on that inflammation. We already know irritable bowel syndrome, diverticulitis, leaky gut syndrome, all on the rise. A lot of that has to do with the inflammation. Beets have a really potent antioxidant compound in them, all right, called anthocyanins. All right, again, anything that's red, purplish in color are going to usually tend to have that unique antioxidant in it. Also, it's super high in fiber and nitrates, all right, which is going to help with digestion. So you're getting that fiber. Beets is one that you might want to add, guys. Beets is one of the more important ones, I think, in this whole list. I'm a huge fan of beets. And if you're not a fan of beets, say you don't like the taste, boil them, peel the skin back, chop them up, and throw them in a smoothie. You won't even know. It might be purple, but you won't even know that a beet's in there. It just becomes so sweet. And plus, if you throw it in with a couple other ingredients as well, it's just going to hide it. So beets is a good one for fiber. Last one, guys, the ones that I like the most, you can have lemon water. The reason why I like lemon, remember, this is all falling underneath the umbrella. We're going to get into some individual foods here in a second. All right, all falling over the probiotic fiber umbrella. The reason why I like lemons, limes to a certain extent, but lemons even more, especially squeezed lemons. Say you're drinking lemon juice. I always say this to remind you guys, because I have to be reminded as well. All right, squeeze that lemon into the water. All right, that way you get some of the pulp, and that way you're getting more of the fiber. All right, because lemon has a special type of fiber that's very beneficial, not only for our overall health, but also for gut health, and that's pectin. Okay? Just like a banana would be. All right, bananas are a good source of fiber. They have pectin and resistant starch. Lemons have even more. They're a great source of it. Even better, too, if you're drinking lemon water, all right, that's going to help with digestive health as well. It's going to help feed good bacteria. Good for hydration also. All right, so if we want better digestive health, this is why I'm saying, guys, I'm recommending to you foods you should add to your diet. These foods that are high, already we talked about probiotics, but right now, foods that are high in fiber. All right, you guys would be surprised, and that might not be you or me who are low in fiber, but for most people, they're way, way low on the daily recommended value of fiber. And if you look at sort of take an average person's diet, it's not really hard to understand why. If it's devoid of leafy green vegetables, if it's devoid of complex carbohydrates like the ones that I gave you, if it's devoid of healthy fruits, right? You're not getting any of the foods that I just mentioned. So if you're eating simple carbs, if you're eating, fast food, all right, or, the quick food, kind of canned food or frozen foods and stuff like that, there's not much fiber in that at all. There's little to none. So if that's a big portion of your diet, of course, you're not going to be getting very much fiber from it, and absolutely no probiotics probably. All right, so keep those high fiber foods in there, guys. Keep them in. They need to be part of our diet. They're one of the more important things, to be honest, especially with all the gut health ailments that are out there these days. Keep the probiotics in there, guys. Like I mentioned, I gave you like 3 or 4 foods. Keep the high fiber in there, soluble and insoluble fiber. Okay? Now, let's go into some individual ones. I'd like to hear some guesses. I'd like to see you guys kind of throw a couple out there and see maybe if they might make the list. I'm sure they probably would. Maybe we just have a different list. But I'm going to give you one right now that a lot of people, for some reason, have always kind of stayed away from. And I think they got a bad rap throughout the... and thanks, guys. Thanks so much for pumping those thumbs up. If you guys can keep them going up, that would be so great. I really appreciate that. Appreciate the support as always. But this one kind of got a bad rap, and it was because of cholesterol. So one important one that we should probably add, or we could add today to our diet, is eggs. Eggs are a great option. Eggs are I'd say, are one of the most overlooked food options for most people. Why? Well, let's talk about it. All right, so let's think, remember I told you guys we're going to break things down macro and micronutrient wise. So talking about both of those. Well, let's just look at the macro and micro of eggs. Okay, now I'm not telling you to go and eat 8 eggs a day, but 2 eggs a day could be fine for you. 1 egg is certainly fine. Remember, in my diet right now, I'm eating 3. Sometimes, not every time, but it's at least 2. Remember, studies demonstrate that it's not our intake of cholesterol that is going to affect our serum cholesterol levels. It's our lifestyle. So if you're eating healthy, if you're being active, all right, and you're not sedentary 90, 80% of the day, your overall cholesterol levels aren't going to be affected too much by the intake of cholesterol. And that's why eggs got a bad rap. Everyone was scared of eggs because, eggs are high in cholesterol. It's going to increase my risk factors for things like heart disease, atherosclerosis, stroke, high blood pressure, all that stuff. All right. But let's talk about the macro of eggs. All right. The macronutrients of eggs. Because again, remember, it's important we know what we're eating. That's why I went over it with beans. All right. A lot of people will tell me beans are a protein. They're a carbohydrate, guys. So with eggs, why do we want eggs? Why would I recommend eggs? And remember, these are all options. They're not have-tos. You don't have to add these to your diet, guys. So if you disagree with eggs, then that's fine. You can 100% disagree with it. These are all just things that you should be thinking about. All right, so let's think about why we might want to add eggs to our diet. And working with a bunch of people, eggs have been very successful for them. Why? Because let's think of the macro. You're going to get good, healthy protein. It's one of the best protein sources out there. All right. And why do I say that? Because it has one of the highest bioavailabilities of any types of protein. So that means you're absorbing more of the protein than anything else, even like chicken breast and anything like that. The only real thing that I think is higher is whey protein, like a whey protein substitute, like scoop of protein powder. That's really the only thing I think has a higher bioavailability, so absorption rate. So you're getting a good amount of protein. And again, just like in fiber, a lot of people are a lot lower in protein, in their protein intake, than they think that they should be. We need protein in our diet, guys. And I have met a lot of people that aren't even hitting 40, 50 grams of protein per day. 30 grams of protein per day. All right. So if you have just 1 egg, say you have 2 eggs in the morning, you just started your day off with 12 to 13 grams of protein. And it's high bioavailability protein. One of the best protein sources out there. Sometimes you'll see egg proteins. Now let's step it up a notch. You could add a little bit of egg white in there as well. Okay, you can easily buy that in the carton. I would rather do that, guys, than actually separate it from the yolk. Save your eggs. Buy the egg whites. That's what I always say. I tell that to a few of my clients. You don't want to throw the yolks away. Keep those. Just buy some egg whites. Then you're getting even more protein. But I think 2 eggs for most people is fine, especially if you're adding it with like an oatmeal, a couple of seeds or nuts or anything like that. I think you're pretty much fine on the protein front, starting your day off with an egg or 2. Okay, now, so we have the protein. What else do we have? Well, we have healthy fats. Eggs are a healthy fat source as well. Okay, so it's kind of funny. I'm always telling you guys, or even my clients, no, this is a protein source. This is a fat source. This is a carbohydrate source. Eggs are pretty much a protein and fat source. In one large egg, on average, there's 6 grams of protein. All right. I've eaten so many eggs and have bought so many eggs in my life. I just have this memorized. In one large egg, there's 6 grams of protein. There's also 5 grams of fat on average. That's the average, guys. So there's a little bit more protein than fat in every egg. All right. But the fat that's in eggs is healthy fats. And the other important thing, not only by eggs are you getting, good protein source, healthy fats, but you're getting tons of micronutrients, guys. So not only are we getting the macro covered, but we're definitely covering the micro. Eggs are an amazing source of micronutrients, guys. They're a tremendous source of pretty much all of them, especially though in B vitamins. They're very high in B vitamins and very appreciated and utilized as a B vitamin source. I believe they have also some iron in them as well. Like to be honest, they're really one of the highest nutrition sources out there, pound for pound. Like I said, I mentioned the B vitamins in them, like vitamin B5, B12, B2. I believe they have some folate even in them. All right, so tons of B vitamins. For some reason, that's hard for me to say today. B vitamins. And also selenium. Selenium's another big one, guys, when it comes to eggs. So eggs, very powerful. Macro and micronutrients covered in all levels. All right. And plus, the reason why we don't want to overdo it on eggs as well, again, they have some fat in them. But again, if you have 2, it's only 10 grams of fat. When I say only, I mean you're keeping everything else in moderation. It's not like you're going crazy on healthy fats. It's 10 grams of healthy fats, and it's a good protein source for you, and it's tons of micronutrients. So eggs are a great one for you guys to have. And why I think they should be in your diet and why I recommend them to most people, a lot of people don't start their day off with a good, healthy food source, or they don't start their day off with food at all. A lot of the times it's coffee. So eggs can kind of be that substitute. I've used that with multiple clients. They need to add protein, maybe even a little bit of healthy fat. All right, eggs was like the go-to. All right, eggs was the go-to. It's good protein, good fat, and good micronutrients, guys. Don't be scared of the cholesterol. Remember, it's not the cholesterol in the food that's going to be affecting serum cholesterol levels. It might affect it, but it's negligible. It's your lifestyle that's going to be affecting it more. If we're obese. All right, it's if we're sedentary, so we're not working out or anything like that, or lack of movement, things like that, guys. So always keep that in mind. So eggs are a great one. I'm not sure too many of you would have put that on the list. I wonder if you would. It would be interesting to hear from some of you, if you're a fan of eggs. But when it comes to eggs, I'm a huge fan and huge proponent of consuming eggs. It's a great way to start the day. It's tons of micronutrients. It's good macronutrients, protein, healthy fats, right? And it's gonna, like I said, it's one of the, if you pair it up with oatmeal every morning, generally when people would eat both of these, you're starting your day off on the right foot. Trust me. Now let's go to our next one. I'm still interested to hear whether you guys would agree with eggs or not. Or if you do eat eggs, or if you don't, even if you don't, remember these are just reminders and options for you. Okay, and that's all they are. All right, they're not have-tos. You don't have to eat eggs, but here's the reasons why I think eggs should be, considered to be added to your diet starting today. All right, now another one. Let's go into Cassie, you are. Thank you so much for letting me know and contributing there. That's awesome, Cassie. I am as well. Like I mentioned before, I eat 2 eggs a day, and it's a staple in my diet. And I'm always eating it with the yolks. A lot of people will be scared of the yolks. I'm saying, don't be scared of the yolks, guys. That's where all the micronutrients are. That's where all the healthy fats are. If you throw the yolks away, you're just eating protein, and you're getting no micronutrients. There's no nutrients in the egg yolk. There's only protein. So eggs as a whole egg, all right, that's the food option that we're looking for. Thanks, Cassie. Thanks for saying that. Appreciate it. So let's think of another one, guys. All right, let's think of some ones, ones that I always talk about, but I cannot say enough about. All right. We can make an umbrella out of this. So we can list a bunch of them, but I'm going to give you one really important one off to start. 8 boiled eggs every morning. Hey, well, welcome to the club, Cassie. That's the exact same with me. I'll usually boil them, super easy, and then I can make them, pre-make them for other days as well. So I'm not just cooking them every day. I can boil a bunch, and then I'm good to go. But yeah, that's awesome. Exactly. Boiling the eggs, all right. And then you have them each morning. So that's wonderful. Great way, like I said, to start the day. Most people eat boiled eggs in the morning. So it makes total sense. So good for you, Cassie. That's awesome. Again, thank you so much for contributing and letting me know. But on these next ones, guys, these are very, very important again. All right? And I've talked about these foods quite a bit, but I'm going to give you the most important one first, all right? Because a lot of people and a lot of lists out there will make a huge umbrella and say, well, you need to have berries in your diet. Well, when I look at something like that, the first thing I think about, well, what berries and how much of each berry? I mean, think of all the berries out there, guys. We have everything from strawberries to elderberries. Where do we start? Where do we stop? Where do we start? How much of each? Do I have to eat all of them? Berries are very important, but let me give you the superfood. The superfood one, all right, a food, I would say there's no reason why you can't add this food to your diet. Unless you're doing keto diet, everyone should have blueberries in their diet. And that's just my opinion. Just the studies that show the health benefits of blueberries, it's just really hard to overlook. An incredible superfood to begin with. Also one of the most powerful and potent sources of antioxidants in the entire world, bar none. Doesn't matter what you compare it to. It's going to have one of the best antioxidants sources in it. And it's again, just like I mentioned with beets, it has that dark purple, sort of reddish color. You're going to have the anthocyanin antioxidants in there as well. Great for our heart health. Okay, so blueberries are food that, you probably should think about adding to your diet, and you can easily do that today. All right, or, get them at the market, add them in tomorrow. All right, but you could easily add them today if you wanted to. Blueberries are very accessible. The thing that kind of drives me a little bit crazy when I see lists where it's just like berries in general, well, elderberries and stuff like that are hard to find. Sometimes blackberries on their own can be sort of hard to find. Maybe they're paired up in like a frozen mix of berries, but we'll have like pineapple, papaya, mango, sort of the higher GI fruits in them as well. So you're kind of getting out of the superfood category or out of the berry category and mixing in other types of fruits with it. All right. But one that you can't miss is blueberries. It's pretty much in every grocery store, in every market. All right. Blueberries are incredible food, guys. If we want to increase our health, all right, yes, berries are important. Most berries are. But the one at the top every time that I talk about berries, guys, are going to be blueberries. Okay. Why? Antioxidants, but that's only one reason. All right. If I'm going to go and tell you guys that blueberries are the best, I better bring more than just antioxidants. So let's go through it. So blueberries are very high in antioxidants, probably have one of the most antioxidants pound for pound than any other food in the entire world. All right, they're a great antioxidant source. All right, but the amazing thing and why I love bringing up blueberries for people is that they're incredibly low in calories, but super high in nutrition, which is amazing. So we can eat a bunch of blueberries. All right, when I say a bunch, like half a cup to a cup, that's more than enough. I eat half a cup usually per day. Again, that's more than enough for me. But I eat them daily, and if you're consistent, of course, you don't have to eat as much. Okay? So blueberries, very low in calories, but very nutrient dense, which is awesome. We already know that they're high in antioxidants, so we don't have to go over that. I'm kind of talking more about the micronutrient part now. All right, we know they're one of the best sources, if not the best sources of antioxidants, but we also now know they're also one of the best sources, pound for pound, calorie per calorie, of nutrients, different bunch of nutrients. And that's not something that you can say for every berry. That's why I don't like making a huge umbrella, and I'd rather just throw blueberries out to you guys. I mean, we can't say the same about cranberries. Cranberries are very high in carbohydrates. All right, they're very high in calories. They can be high in calories. Same thing with like huckleberries. That's what I mean, guys. Where does the berry list begin and end? There's just so many of them out there. All right, but with blueberries, they're super nutrient dense. I mean, 1 cup off the bat, we already talked about how we want to increase fiber. That's something that you should be adding to your diet if you haven't already. If you're low, all right, we talked about this already. It was the second one we talked about. It was probiotics, and then second one was fiber to act as food for the probiotics. If we want fiber, guess what? Blueberries are going to give you that fiber as well. Remember, we wanted to shoot for about I think 30 grams of fiber per day. If you have 1 cup of blueberries, you're going to get at least 4 grams of fiber. So how amazing is that? You're adding in a fruit, all right? Not even like the beans and any of the other stuff that we talked about, but a fruit that's super rich in antioxidants, that's super rich in nutrients, it's nutrient dense, it's low in calories, and it's also high in fiber. All right, so 1 cup, all right, a 1 cup serving, which isn't that much. All right, it's really not that much, especially if you're making smoothies and oatmeal, or if you just like them raw. Again, not that many calories, 4 grams of fiber. All right, so you're getting just with that 1/7 about of your recommended daily intake of fiber. All right, so incredible, just by eating blueberries. I mean, who would have thought? All right, but great source of vitamin K. You guys have maybe heard me say that. You know, vitamin K, vitamin C, magnesium, manganese. I could go on and on. Just several important nutrients that are going to be included in blueberries. All right. And also a good for hydration. A lot of it's made up of water. All right, so we're going to be increasing hydration a little bit as well. But I think 1 cup of, remember, I'm giving you all these examples of why blueberries are a superfood. Think about it as this, guys. 1 cup of blueberries has about 80 calories. I'll say it again. 1 whole cup of blueberries, you get all of these amazing health benefits: digestive health, antioxidants, anti-inflammation, fiber. If I didn't say heart health, definitely heart health. You get all those benefits, and 1 cup only has 80 calories in it. That's amazing. That's why I love it so much. You can't say that. That's why you can't include blueberries in an umbrella of just saying eat berries. Berries are a superfood. Well, blueberries stand out just a little bit than some of the other ones, guys. So again, these blueberries aren't a have to, but maybe they are a consideration for you guys to add to your diet, and you can easily add them today. They're super healthy. I think blueberries are amazing. I myself, the ones that I'm kind of talking about here, I'm just thinking about it now. It's kind of funny. Are the ones that I try to eat every day. Eggs I eat every day. Blueberries I'll have almost every day. If I have oatmeal or I have a smoothie, then I definitely will have blueberries on those days. But I try to get them in pretty much every day as well. So just in those reasons, guys, you can kind of see why I started off by saying, well, not all berries are equal. Some people will call all berries a superfood. I think the superfood list gets a little diluted once you start adding all berries. Okay, Blueberries are your superfood. Next might be like a raspberry or strawberry, but blueberries are at the top. All right, love blueberries. So blueberries are another one. All right, again, like I said, strawberries are up there. They're kind of like that step down from blueberries. So everything I said about blueberries, you could probably say for strawberries, but you're not getting as much antioxidants. You're not getting the same type of antioxidants, like no anthocyanins in strawberries like there would be. And they're a little bit more, quite a bit more calories in them. I just compared to blueberries. They're still low in calories, but just comparative to blueberries, a little bit higher on the calorie end. So let's keep going, guys. The next one, so we have probiotics, we have fiber, and we've given a bunch of foods out for that. All right, so if you missed it, guys, make sure you rewatch this because, we threw out, I think, 4 or 5 high probiotic and even some prebiotic foods out there. And I think we threw 4 or 5 high fiber foods out there, ranging from complex carbohydrates to fruits to green veggies and even beets and things like that. All right, another one, guys. So let's get into another one here. One that you would probably want to add to your diet, all right? And a lot of people might not have this on their list, all right? But if you eat fish or meat, all right? I'm going to stay away from like the chicken breasts and the lean ground beefs and things like that. But one that I would definitely have you think about is something like salmon and sardines. All right, kind of oily, healthy fish. All right, now why am I suggesting that you might want to add that to your diet? Let's talk about the important thing. Yes, the salmon's important. All right, it's going to give you good protein. It's going to give you healthy fats. It's going to give you a bunch of micronutrients. But the important thing is what you might want to add to your diet is the omega-3s and omega-6 fatty acids that are found in salmon. That's the nutrient that's super important. All right, the protein's important as well. We can't overlook the micronutrients and the protein that's in salmon. But the major benefit and why I'm telling you guys that you might want to think about adding this to your diet is because of the omega-6 fatty acids, the omega-3 fatty acids. So salmon, especially, like these oily fish, so not really like your shrimp or shellfish or anything like that. Salmon's your best bet. Sardines would be your next best. But I think salmon's probably your best bet for omega-3s. Okay, now, if you don't like salmon, how else can you get omega-3s? Well, there's a couple ways. Probably the easiest is to just buy an omega-3 supplement. And again, sometimes they can be a little bit more expensive, but so can salmon. All right, but we want those omega-3 fatty acids. Now, the other nice thing, though. Sorry, guys. The other nice thing, all right, a lot of people do like salmon. So if you don't like the taste of salmon, getting the omega-3 supplement is probably your best bet. But salmon is also very high in nutrients, but it also contains vitamin D, which is very hard to find in a lot of foods, especially when we're talking about ones paired up with omega-3 fatty acids. So salmon is now starting to be considered a superfood for those reasons. All right, good source of protein. Now, let me just say this before I get into my list here. All right, with salmon, you're not going to want to eat it every day. All right, with fish and things like that. Just with studies and stuff, which I've read, try to keep it to about like 2-3 times a week. That's where a supplement could come in. But even if you're eating it like 2 to 3 times a week, at least you're getting those omega-3s. I'll tell you some other ways that you can get omega-3s as well that aren't fish related, like the salmon and the sardines. The salmon is the big one I'm keying in here, though. All right, so 2 to 3 times per week, probably at most, guys. All right, limit it just because, some of the studies that we've read, we know that we should probably limit the fish intake to a couple times a week at most. But let's talk about the important reasons why I'm saying salmon. High in protein, all right? The most important one is going to be the omega-3s. So we've already established that. Omega-3 fatty acids, super high in salmon. And again, you don't have to eat a lot of it to get the health benefits from omega-3 fatty acids. And salmon is packed. It's super rich in omega-3 fatty acids. So omega-3 fatty acids we've established. It's a high protein source. Remember, we've already established before that a lot of people are low in protein. All right. It's very high in micronutrients. All right. Super high in micronutrients. And it looks like we're going to get a no signal picture coming up here. I'm not sure why, but sometimes that just happens. On the 45th minute, we end up getting it, but that's okay. Like I said, I treat this as a podcast, so you guys are still going to be able to hear me, and we can still go through the foods. What I like to say, if you're new in here and this happens, we went 2-3 in a row where we didn't actually get the no signal sign. So I thought we were doing good. We were on our way. We were 46 minutes in, but unfortunately this popped up. But I apologize for that, but let's keep going. All right, let's establish why I'm saying salmon's a good one for you. So we already talked about the omega-3 fatty acids. All right, that's really the big part that we should be adding to our diet. Okay, the omega-3 fatty acids, guys, healthy fatty acids. We already know that we need healthy fats in our diet. And just like protein, healthy fats, most people aren't eating them at all, or they're quite low in healthy fats. So if you can get salmon in 2 to 3 times a week, you're not only going to be getting in healthy fats, but you're getting in those omega-3 fatty acids. All right. So omega-3 fatty acids, huge, tons of health benefits. Everything from, overall digestive health to even mood. I don't get too much into the mood stuff. That's more for a medical practitioner, but we've seen the studies and, there's been some correlation with that. Again, if you're not eating these healthy fats, then we're losing a whole macronutrient source, all right, that we need in our diets. So we need healthy fats because remember, you need fat, all right? We want protein, we want carbs, all right? That's why the keto diet sometimes can be restrictive. You're taking out one of the whole macronutrient branches. You're taking out carbohydrates. Does the wild-caught salmon have more of the vitamin D? That's interesting. You know what? I've never looked into that too much, Cassie, but from what I have read, I think the wild has more than the farmed, to be honest with you. The wild, like wild Pacific salmon, is a better source of vitamin D than the farm. Now, sometimes the farm might add vitamin D to it, but from the things that I've read, that can be expensive in itself. But from what I've read, the wild, like Pacific caught salmon has more vitamin D than the farmed. But that, again, that's something that you can easily look up at your label. But as a generalization, the wild caught salmon has more. But that's a great question. Okay, so great question because, tons of these farm-raised salmon sources are coming up from all around the world. So, we're getting more and more salmon from these sources. So that's definitely a good point to bring up, Cassie. Thank you. Okay, so it has the omega-3 fatty acids, it has protein, it has the micronutrients. All important things, all things that we want to make sure that we're adding into our diet. Okay, now if we can do that, we're off to a good start because like I already said, we already know people are low in protein. We know that people are low in healthy fats. What people are especially low in is omega-3 fatty acids, and that's what we need to get up. Omega-3s, again, like I said, so many health benefits. I could go over numerous different ones, but I said it before, everything from like digestive health, heart health, to mood. So just an incredible health source. So what the thing again that we want to add is the omega-3 fatty acids. If we don't want to be eating salmon every single day, all right, some natural ways, all right, that we can add omega-3s into our diet. You can use a supplement, but another way that I like to do it is with walnuts. All right, walnuts are one of the rare plant sources of omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids. And again, I apologize, guys, for the no signal picture. But again, treat this as a podcast. At least we can still hear and talk, and you guys can still interact through the chat. And again, like I do this, I'll throw up a picture of food right now, so that way I have something nice to look at. But it's the omega-3s, guys, that we really want to focus in on. All right, the omega-3 fatty acids. And I just gave you 2 other ones. You can supplement with it, or you can add walnuts into your diet to help get you that omega-3 fatty acids, because we don't want to be eating salmon every single day. Okay? So again, since a supplement can be a little bit more expensive, salmon can be a little bit expensive, it might be nice to kind of go back and forth with those options. Not eat salmon every day. We don't want to do that. Not if we want to make our supplement last a little bit longer, don't take it on the days where you're having salmon or sardines or anything like that. Or have some extra walnuts that day. All right. Chia seeds, flax seeds, hemp seeds. Nice, Paulette. Yes. Very healthy source. Lots of healthy fats in there as well. Flax seeds are one of my favorite. I think I just did a hemp seeds video, so Paulette, how much I love hemp seeds. Just their nutritional value, almost considered a superfood by many these days. So absolutely. Chia seeds as well. I actually had flax seeds in my smoothie this whole week, so tremendous source. Excellent point. So the omega-3s, guys, the omega-3 fatty acids, those are the types of foods that we want to think about adding to our diet today. A lot of people don't have any omega-3s in their diet. A lot of people don't know about omega-3s, all right? Again, they might know about polyunsaturated or monounsaturated, those types of healthy fats, but then there's that whole other omega-3, omega-6, and even omega-9 essential fatty acids, which our body, lots of health benefits, really values those fatty acids. And I mentioned a few of them. We can go on and on about it, but omega-3 fatty acids are going to be one of your most important fat sources. All right. And the more healthy fats we're eating, the more chance we have of getting those. Salmon's your big one though, guys. Salmon, maybe taking a supplement, eating walnuts. All right. Even having chia, flax, hemp seeds. They're a little bit lower in it. Walnuts are probably your next best bet, if not for the supplement, but we want to make sure that we're getting in those omega-3 fatty acids. Now, let's talk about a few more. Let's talk about the grains. Remember I talked about oats, all right? Oats are going to be on like oatmeal. Oats are probably one of the best grains, so that's why I recommended it in the fiber portion of our discussion. All right, a lot of people look at oatmeal and think of it as kind of like kid food. I've heard people say, "Oh, well, I don't eat oatmeal, but I'll give it to my kids." You cannot go wrong with oatmeal, guys. I eat oatmeal sometimes for dinner. Maybe I'm just weird, but I'll eat oatmeal at nighttime. It's just so healthy for you, and there's so many benefits. So one of the grains, if you are a fan of grains, and there's no reason you shouldn't be unless you have some sort of sensitivity or intolerance to it. Grains are super packed with micronutrients. I'll give you a couple of them here. I already gave you oatmeal, and again, tons of fiber in them. All right, but another grain that I really like. So I had to rank my top 2 other ones other than oatmeal. Okay, I'll go in this way, and this is how much I eat oatmeal the most often out of these 3. The next one would be brown rice. Okay. Brown rice is probably one of your healthiest grains. And like I said, just like eggs had a bad rap, or people were kind of scared to add them into their diet because of the cholesterol, the fat, all that different stuff. People were only eating like egg white omelets. All right. There's a episode of Seinfeld. I don't know if everyone gets the reference, but where he's only eating egg whites, and this was through the 90s because everyone stayed away from eggs. But brown rice is also one of those popular grains, but also very healthy. All right, and we shouldn't be scared of grains. And in fact, these are some of the healthier foods, very high in micronutrients. They're higher. They're a carb source. But again, we know from studies that just came out, carbs aren't an enemy, guys. Carbohydrates should not be looked at as this, sort of danger food that we need to stay away from or keep in moderation at all times, or every single day, or only be eating a low carbohydrate diet. There was just a big study that came out actually that even the nutrient timing. So everyone would say, well, don't eat carbs at nighttime because it's going to get stored as fat as you sleep. A huge study just came out where people ate carbs just before bed, and other people ate carbs. I think they stopped. Their last one was around 4 p.m. So about 5 to 6 hours before bed. Absolutely no, and everything else stayed the same. Absolutely no difference. So even the nutrient timing of carbohydrates really doesn't matter. And this was for people because they were scared of gaining weight or gaining fat. All that matters, guys, with that is that you're in a deficit. So don't be scared of carbohydrates. These are some of the healthiest foods that you can eat. Very nutritious. I mean, if we're scared of oatmeal, my God, if we can't eat oatmeal, then what can we eat? Then we're going to be really restricted. Same thing goes for brown rice, and then the next one I'll just give you is probably quinoa. Quinoa is a great source, especially for my vegan and vegetarian viewers out there. An excellent source. That's why I rank this one up here for you guys, even for anyone, but especially for someone who's vegan or vegetarian. Has all 9 essential amino acids. That's incredible. All right, for a plant-based source. I think it's the only plant-based food source out there that has all 9. I think there's a few other ones out there that have most of them. I think they might just be missing lysine. That's usually the one that's missing. But if you mix lentils and beans, then you can kind of get a nice complex protein or a complete protein. But quinoa is a nice complete protein for people who don't eat meat or who, are vegetarian, vegan, living that type of lifestyle. So that's why I'll add that into there. So don't be too afraid of grains, guys. Everyone's worried about carbohydrates and that type of stuff. It's so funny. People are worried about bread, yet they'll eat 3 bananas in a day and a bunch of pineapple. It's all carbohydrates. Our body's not going to know the difference. And there's even some more sugar. You'll know the difference though if you do have a sensitivity to it. Let's not forget that. So if you're one of the rare people who has a gluten sensitivity, then you're definitely going to want to stay away from bread and things like that, of course. But don't limit yourself. If you're a fan of bread, just make sure whole wheat. Make sure Ezekiel bread is very healthy. Pumpernickel's just fine. There's lots of breads out there, all right, that are very healthy for us. I wouldn't necessarily put them on this list, but the grains that I mentioned, your oatmeal, your brown rice, quinoa even, those are foods that you might want to be adding to the list here. Now, let's get into a couple more fat sources, all right? So we did a really good job with the fiber, probiotics. We've talked about eggs. We talked about omega-3 fatty acids. I think those first, splitting up the three umbrellas would be probiotics and prebiotics, fiber, okay, because we want to increase that. And then the next one would be omega-3 fatty acids, all right? And then we've sort of been breaking down individual foods as we've gone along, all right? But now let's go back into a macro kind of outlook on it. So a macronutrient outlook, let's think of some healthy fats. You guys are going to be able to name tons. All right. I find this one to be the most easiest. All right. Now let me just give you 2 because you guys we don't really even need to waste time on this. If I was to give you 2 recommendations as to healthy fats, my 2 are probably going to be almonds and walnuts. And why? Well, walnuts are going to give you those omega-3 fatty acids, so we've already covered that a little bit. But super nutrient dense on both sides, super high in antioxidants. Just make sure you're eating the almonds with the it's not a shell, but kind of the brown skin still on it. We don't want to blanch them or peel them or anything like that. Most of the antioxidants, the really unique potent antioxidants found in almonds, are in the skin. So make sure that you're keeping that skin on. So if I had to recommend, 2 nuts or 2 seeds or whatever it is, all right, almonds, I would think about adding almonds and walnuts to the diet, guys. Think about that, all right? But always keep them in moderation because they're always going to be a little bit higher in calories. All right, now if you want another fat source, you could go into seeds and everything like that, but I don't want to keep throwing, a bunch of foods at you. All right, if you're doing that, then if you're eating almonds and walnuts, you're doing fine. I mean, the chia seeds are good. The pumpkin seeds are good too. Those would probably be the two that I would throw at you. All right, but another one, all right, that you might want to add to the diet today is avocado. And everyone, I don't know, it's very rare that I come across someone who's not a fan of avocado. Again, I don't eat avocado. I'll be honest. I don't eat avocado as often as most people, and it's not because I don't like it or I don't think that it's a superfood. I 100% believe that it's a superfood. I think I did a stream on foods that you're going to want to, 5 foods that you should add to your diet or should be in any diet or something along those lines, and avocados was one of them just because of the amazing benefits that you're going to get from eating avocados. But avocados is another healthy fat source that you're going to want to think about adding to your diet. For one, it's a superfood. 2, it's a nice healthy fat source. And again, we want to stick to those healthy fats. And then 3, okay, so the healthy fats though, before I move on, you have your polyunsaturated, but it's super, super high in monounsaturated fats. All right, and that's kind of our important one, especially for heart health. So it's a great source of monounsaturated fats. Most of it, probably about like 80%, is monounsaturated. The rest, pretty much polyunsaturated, but super high in monounsaturated fats. All right. Now, again, I don't think I need to get too much into the vegetables, guys. But again, you can keep that as an umbrella. Let's just talk about vegetables this way. Okay, because I really think it would be a waste of your time and almost your intelligence to say, well, you guys might want to start thinking about eating vegetables. I mean, I think everyone at this point knows that vegetables are important in their diet, okay? And that goes for any vegetables, guys. It doesn't matter if it's dark leafy green vegetables, if it's, bell peppers, it can be anything. I had asparagus this week. That was great. That was a nice switch up. Vegetables are great to your diet. Let's talk about this. How much vegetables should you have per day? All right. It'd be great if some people guessed. How many servings of vegetables do you think you should be eating per day? If you could have a couple of guesses. I don't know if we'll get them, but it'd be great if some people threw out. But what's generally recommended, and remember, I've talked about it a lot like this, guys. Think of a pyramid. All right. At the bottom of the pyramid is the most essential foods. All right. The top of the pyramid is the foods that we don't need at all. So it'd be like your fast food. You'd want to limit it. The bottom of the pyramid is going to be like water. We need water. The second one is going to be vegetables. So clearly it's going to be higher, all right, in serving size than the top of that pyramid. So the serving size usually recommended for the average person, all right, is 3 to 6 servings of vegetables per day. Okay, and you can have fun with it. That can be any vegetable that you guys want. All right, so if you're low, so I'm not going to come on here and tell you guys, you should think about adding vegetables to it. Nice, Cassie, you're right in the middle. Exactly. 4 would be a great one. 4 is kind of what I tell my clients to shoot for. Since they're eating 4 meals, a lot of them are eating 4 meals, have a vegetable at every meal. But 4 is a good one. That's great, Cassie. So, 3 to 6, 6 can be quite high. All right. I think 4 to 5 is great. So I'm not going to come on here and tell you should add vegetables to your diet because you guys know vegetables are healthy, but just make sure that you're getting enough servings of vegetables. And keep in mind that any vegetable will do. It doesn't have to be. We hear so much about dark leafy green vegetables, broccoli, kale, spinach, those 3. I hear that every single day. Yes, those are very, very important. And broccoli is a superfood. All right. Broccoli is amazing. All right. I try to eat broccoli every single day if I can. I eat it raw. It's that important. All right. But there's other vegetables out there as well, guys, and other ones that you can enjoy. There's everything from like the bell peppers that I said, bunch of different colors, to even romaine lettuce with your salads, to artichoke. There's tons of options out there for you guys. So have fun with it. Just make sure you're getting the vegetables in there. Now let me throw two more out at you. All right, there's two more important ones that I would say that you should maybe think about adding to your diet. Okay, so these two we've talked about before. Also, like with the vegetables, the list could go on and on. It's a little bit different than the berry list, because with like broccoli, I could say, well, did you have 3 to 6 vegetables? Well, yeah, it was broccoli, carrots, cucumber, and kale. And then that would be great. There's 4. And then if someone told me they had like onions, cabbage, cauliflower, and asparagus, both of them are great. There's nothing wrong with either one of those. Both people nailed it because they got 4 of them in and they had 4 servings of vegetables. So you can kind of use that umbrella for vegetables a little bit more. Let me give you 2 that is going to be 2, options that you might want to add into your diet. The next one will be turmeric. All right, so a spice, all right, and it's very popular these days, so I don't think it'll be too hard to find. All right, for me, finding turmeric is everywhere for where I am. You can find turmeric at any grocery store, any market, even other stores. You can buy it in bulk. You can buy it as a supplement. It's just so easy to find. But turmeric is one of those foods that you might want to give consideration to. Why? It's different from all the other ones that we've talked about. All right, for one, it's a spice. All right, the last one's going to be a herb. Little teaser. But for a spice, I really like turmeric. I think it's a great food, food choice. Even though it's a spice, yes, it still is a food choice. So one that you definitely would want to consider adding into your diet today. All right, I eat about half a teaspoon of turmeric per day. Again, you don't have to eat a lot. And I always say this. There's always a big misconception that when I say you should be eating turmeric or saffron or whatever it is, any spice or herb, fennel, anything like that, people think I'm recommending tablespoons of this. Like you should be eating multiple tablespoons of turmeric per day, or even a tablespoon. I'm telling you guys right now, I eat 1/2 of a teaspoon. That's it. Maybe if I'm feeling like I need it, or maybe if I can't find the half teaspoon, I'll have a teaspoon, but it's usually no more than a teaspoon. I don't think I've ever had a tablespoon, unless it's been in a recipe or something like that. But I'll throw turmeric into my smoothie. Can't even taste it. And if I do taste it, I don't mind the taste. It's one of those things that, people will always say, oh, I can't stand the taste of turmeric. Well, throw it into a smoothie. Throw a bunch of nice ingredients in there that you do like. Blueberries are a great one. So maybe something sweet like half a banana or something like that. You can even add avocado. Maybe a little protein source in there. Even if you do taste, like you're barely going to taste the turmeric at that point. And even if you do, just remember, it's kind of a nice reminder that you got that nice healthy spice in there. And just kind of enjoy that idea. If you're only throwing half a teaspoon into it, I highly doubt that you're going to be tasting it very much. And thank you so much, guys. I appreciate the thumbs up. We're at 13 right now. Maybe see if we can get that up a little bit more by the end of this. But thank you so much for the support, guys. Like I said, I do appreciate it. So turmeric would definitely be one of those spices and food choices that I would think about adding into my diet today. Turmeric tea, awesome, Cassie. I think that's a great way of adding turmeric into your diet. It would be one of the ways I would recommend adding it to your diet. It's super easy. It's hydrating, so you're getting the benefits of both. I'll drink a turmeric green tea sometimes, so you don't have to necessarily just have the spice or a supplement. You can make turmeric tea, absolutely. I think that's one of the most popular ways of getting turmeric these days. So turmeric tea, absolutely. Again, you don't need to drink a lot or have a whole bunch. Like say if you're making your own, you don't need to use like a tablespoon. Use like a teaspoon of turmeric. Again, you don't have to overdo it. But again, turmeric is just has so many health benefits, and we're even finding out like more and more. We know that it's tremendous for inflammation, it's anti-inflammatory benefits, but even just things that's emerging like cognitive health, with cognitive ailments and cognitive function, especially as we get older, heart health, joint pain, things like that. Just a tremendous, super nutrient dense. So again, that's why you don't need to have a large portion of it at a time. You can just kind of have it a little bit at a time. All right. So many great things. And we didn't even talk about maybe one of its best. Again, it's going to be super, super high in antioxidants. So an amazing, amazing choice. Probably something that you should all consider adding to your diet. And again, like Cassie said, you can have it turmeric tea. Like I brought up, you could put it into a smoothie. Again, I'm only putting half a teaspoon in, but again, that's all I need. Again, if you're eating something every single day, you don't need to be eating tons of it. All right, and I wouldn't recommend eating tons of turmeric at one time anyway. Okay, you can keep it in moderation. It's so nutrient dense and so healthy for you. Again, you don't need large amounts. Now, let's talk about the last one. The last one here, guys, is going to be, remember I said it was going to be a herb, all right? It's going to be, I kind of went back and forth on this last one. Can't go wrong with garlic or ginger. So I think the one that I'll give today is garlic, just because it just beats out for me. It just beats out ginger. Hey, Marilyn. Hi, everyone. Great tea. Ginger peach. Oh, ginger peach and turmeric. Nice. That's a nice combination. Ginger, turmeric. I'll have ginger turmeric, and then I'm sure the peach adds a nice one. But thanks for that, Marilyn. I appreciate you coming in and giving that recipe. Might be something we have to try one of these days. But I think the last one for you guys is garlic. And again, you can supplement with garlic as well. A lot of people kind of forget that. Not huge garlic fans, or, they don't like the taste or the smell. You can supplement with garlic. You might get a little bit of the taste still, but it's pretty light, to be honest. But again, just so many benefits from garlic. Super nutritious. And hardly any calories in it at all. So again, it's just sort of like the blueberry point. And it even contains, you'll get it's kind of funny because, you get those nutrients, but you get the other benefits like its sulfur compounds, which are very, very good for the body, like our digestive tract, so digestive health and things like that. That's why I put garlic on things on lists like these. It offers things that not a lot of other foods do. So the sulfur compounds, very potent and very powerful, and they're really going to help us with our digestive tract health, and then that's just going to lead to other benefits. You're going to increase nutrient absorption. We can stop leaky gut syndrome, inflammation, things like that. So I put it on one of my top 10. I always have garlic up there. Need to go catch up with recording. All right, Krishna. Absolutely. No problem. It sounds like you're having to go now, but if you are, no worries. So garlic up there is a great one. Again, even has so many bioactive compounds and active compounds, so it's going to give you medicinal benefits. It's going to help improve heart health, things like that. It's probably one of the most heart healthy foods and one of the most well-researched heart healthy foods out there. So when I say that garlic is healthy for the heart, so it can maybe reduce blood pressure, lower LDL, so bad cholesterol levels, reduce inflammation, things like that, I can be fairly confident with that because I've read tons of studies on all of that, even total cholesterol levels. I think triglycerides, maybe not triglycerides. I think that was the one part of the studies that was kind of always interesting to me. It didn't really have any effect on triglycerides, but definitely total cholesterol and bad LDL cholesterol reduction. And even chance of oxidation. So Garlic, super, super powerful. And again, we're talking about Alzheimer's and things like that. Hey, how's it going, Alpha X? Health before wealth. Exactly. But health is up there, my man. Absolutely. Thank you so much for coming in, Alpha X. I appreciate it, especially right towards the end here. Apologize again for that no signal picture, but now we're just keeping it as podcast form, guys. So again, we talked a little bit about in our last couple of foods that I said, but even garlic, potent antioxidants. All right. And it's great because we want those antioxidants. A lot of the foods that I mentioned today, especially blueberries, again, I'll go back to that one, super high in antioxidants, getting rid of free radicals, reduce oxidative damage, all of that other stuff. But what we're finding in studies as well is that garlic, with its antioxidants and bioactive compounds, can have the potential to prevent cognitive ailments such as Alzheimer's disease and perhaps maybe even dementia and things like that. Again, that's more of a medical practitioner, but I'm just telling you what we see in the studies. So the potent antioxidant enzymes, we're seeing a little correlation of potential to prevent Alzheimer's disease, which is great. So it's just so many garlic benefits. I mean, garlic, I think garlic, like I said, like even everything I've mentioned already, like a lot of people don't even know that it can help with bone health. And that's a big thing for today. A lot of people are dealing with osteoporosis as we get older, just because of, diet choices before, things like that. Not even older, just a lot of people, bone health in general. It can help increase bone mineral density, decrease bone mineral loss. So, there's just garlic is one of those superfoods, guys, that I'm just always going to suggest that you guys think about adding to your diet. So garlic is definitely on the list for me. We'll eat salads on the evening, cucumber, tomatoes, garlic. Wow, that sounds good to me. Yeah, chicken. Well, even with chicken, Alpha X, chicken is on, if you're going to eat protein sources and you're getting it from animal protein, chicken is going to be on that list usually every single time, just because it's a lean protein source, and it does have quite a bit of nutrients, not a lot of fat, if any fat, and very low in saturated fat like a lot of meats are. So chicken, can definitely be hard. Maybe you're trying for a different type of diet. Maybe, I don't know if you're vegan or anything like that. But if you aren't vegan or vegetarian and you are trying to look for a protein source, then by all means, chicken is one of the better ones. Lean ground turkey or just turkey in general. We talked about salmon. Now, salmon's got those omega-3 fatty acids that we want. That's why I offered it up to you guys as one that you should maybe think about adding to your diet today. And when I say today, it doesn't have to necessarily mean today. It just means, think about adding it today and into the future. All right. Take everything in moderation, guys. We can't always, have everything or add all of these foods at once. Take it, so one step at a time. I wouldn't expect you guys to add all of these into your diet for the next week. That would just be almost impossible. You'd be out there and you'd be totally radically changing your diet, perhaps. Because just think of everything that we've talked about today. Probiotics and prebiotics. I gave you like 4 or 5 foods there. Fiber, 4 or 5 foods there. We talked about omega-3 fatty acids, 3 foods there. Eggs, almonds, walnuts, pumpkin seeds, chia seeds, garlic. Can't even remember some of the other ones. We talked a little bit about even sardines and vegetables, things like that. If I didn't say eggs, we talked about eggs, blueberries. So a bunch of things we've talked about. So if you missed out on this little recording and podcast or the show, maybe give it a re-listen, because there was quite a bit of foods that we went over and why we would want to think about adding them. Probiotics and prebiotics and fiber and omega-3 fatty acids, which we started with, are some of the lowest and most often forgotten sort of nutrients out there, especially with talking to my clients and things like that. They're just not even really thinking about them, and not a lot of people do, and it's not their fault because it's things that we don't hear about every single day. Yeah, the bad fat and good fat. Vegetarian. Nice. That's kind of what I thought. Just the way you're saying it was hard to stop eating chicken. I kind of figured that you're either vegan or vegetarian, Alpha X. Yes, Cassie, exactly. Walnuts, almonds, all of that. Like I said, if I had to suggest two healthy fat sources that were nuts, Cassie's right. It would be walnuts and almonds. Those would be the two. There's a lot of other ones out there, but again, we don't need to overdo it. I don't like making huge umbrellas, as you guys know, when I said blueberries, because a lot of times people will throw every berry under the sun into that category. And, does that include, we know that might include blueberries, but does it also include things from like huckleberries to elderberries? I don't know. Probably I would say no. I wouldn't call those superfoods, if I'm being honest. It sort of dilutes it just a little bit. So you kind of want to just break it up. But walnuts and almonds, two amazing healthy fats. Very, very good. And even with walnuts, we were talking about how they're one of the only plant-based sources of omega-3 fatty acids, which is incredible. So I think those are some good considerations. Guys. 3 essential fatty acids. Nice, yeah. EPA, DHA, omega. Yeah, those are the good ones. So like we talked a little bit about the omega-3 fatty acids. EPA, DHA, you're going to get in most fish oil supplements, like omega-3 supplements. ALA. Oh, you're throwing it all out at me, huh, Alpha X? So by ALA, I believe you mean alpha-linolenic acid. All right, so alpha-linolenic acid, very healthy fat. Hard to find. I think flax seeds are a good source of ALA. But yeah, just tons of different sources out there. That's why sometimes, guys, I like to keep it simple for the most part. But because we talked about the healthy fats, we talked about omega-3s. Yeah, we could have went into EPA, DHA. If you take a fish oil supplement, you know exactly what that is. It's going to have both of those in there, especially like if it's a fish oil. But like ALA, people were using ALA as like a fat burner, help you lose fat. Alpha-linolenic acid. I'm not quite sold on that, guys. The best fat burner is being in a calorie deficit. It may have fat burning effects, but so is walking, and so does that type of stuff. Being in a calorie deficit, that's really the only way that you're really gonna lose fat and lose weight, guys. That's really the only way that's gonna happen. So, with all this other stuff, I could throw ALA at you guys and all that other good stuff, but I like to keep it simple. I think that's the best way. I do it for myself. Why wouldn't I do it for my clients? If it's gonna work for me, and again, you want to know the studies, but you want experience as well, and then combine both. I think that's the best way to do it. That's why I kind of, you'll hear me harp about the berries thing. It'll be added to this list. I think a lot, and you'll hear me really harp on drink a glass of lemon water and lose belly fat. Like, good luck. If that's if that's your belly fat or your weight loss regimen, it's not going to work. And it sucks to say that, but drinking lemon water, how is the lemon like, if we just break it down, I don't mean to laugh, but I just see so many videos on it. How does the lemon or the lemon water know to go attack belly fat? And to be honest, you can't spot reduce anyway. It's called spot reduction. I can't just go and lose belly fat and not lose it anywhere else. I might lose belly fat last. So to lose belly fat, you might have to lose belly fat all over. or not, sorry, you might have to lose body fat all over. And then the last place could be the stomach. And for most males, it actually is. We put it on there first, so we're going to lose it there last. So the lemon water, the apple cider vinegar, the eat this, and then lose inches of belly fat, it's just usually not going to work, guys. Being in a calorie deficit is what's going to work. We're kind of getting a little off topic, but it is kind of interesting to bring up just a little bit here. Wow, now every time before bed when I don't have work days. That's nice. Good for you. Good for you, Alpha X. Yep, just getting that walk in. Remember, 150 minutes per day or per week, guys. 150 minutes per week. That's all that's recommended, for your walks. Doesn't matter. I say just movement's your best friend. Walk is always nice. Get that movement going. Getting a walk in, eating healthy, being a little bit under calorie deficit, that's how you're going to lose weight. But I just can't, it just really bothers me when I see the, drink lemon water or take a shot of apple cider vinegar. I've actually had clients that have come up to me in the last, in the last month, I would say. I've had clients that have brought up to me apple cider vinegar and weight loss. So it's definitely out there, guys. It's not just you and me talking about this stuff. I've had clients coming to me asking about apple cider vinegar and its effects on weight loss, or them trying to lose belly fat by drinking apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar can give you lots of benefits. It can be in a weight loss program, but drinking apple cider vinegar in and of itself is not going to correlate into losing belly fat. It's just not how it works. Again, you cannot spot reduce. So like when I say you can't spot reduce, guys, a lot of people will think, I want to lose belly fat. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a bunch of sit-ups. I'm going to do 100 sit-ups every night, and then I'm going to get better core strength. I'm going to get better abs. I'm going to lose the fat on my stomach. Even if you were doing all those sit-ups, it's not going to do a single thing for you in terms of losing fat on your stomach. You would have to lose fat throughout your entire body, and then once you lost enough fat on the entire body, then maybe you start to lose it from the belly. So that's the only reason why I just kind of, it's one of those things that I see those videos, and it is what it is. You're going to see those types of videos, and there's studies that will say, well, so-and-so, these amount of people drank apple cider vinegar and it led to half inch or an inch reduction on waist size. But it doesn't take into consideration everything else that was being done. Were they in a calorie deficit? Were they exercising? If they were in a calorie deficit, then you just bingo, that's why it probably happened. But if they're exercising and they're doing things like that. But if you're doing sit-ups all day, that's not going to do anything just for your belly fat alone. You have to lose weight. You have to lose fat throughout the entire body. And unfortunately, belly fat is one of the last things to go for males and for females as well. But females are more like hips, legs, things like that. Males, we're like the love handles, lower stomach, so kind of like the gut, things like that. But again, the only way to lose that is just through calorie deficit, eating healthy, and eventually losing enough weight and enough body fat to eventually where you start to lose some of the belly fat. All right, it's not going to be lemon water. There's nothing special in lemon water that's going to get into your body and then go attack the belly fat. It just doesn't work like that. Lemon water is healthy. It's just not that smart. It doesn't know where the belly fat is to go and get. But it definitely does have a lot of health benefits for you. This is the type of stuff I could go on and on all day about. What foods are great for detoxing? You know what's funny? There's been so many like detox drinks out there, Cassie. When it comes to detoxing, first you got to ask yourself, okay, why am I detoxing? And do I actually need to detox? So a big one that was out there before was or that was kind of really popular, I'd say the last year or so, is celery juice. Maybe throw some parsley or something like that. All right, there's so many foods that are quote unquote great for detoxing. One that I'll throw out at you, or I guess a couple that I can throw out at you is, one, just make sure you're drinking a lot of water first. So make sure you're hydrated, all right? Because water is going to just remove wastes and toxins from the body in and of itself. That's the kidney's function, all right, to regulate water, and it's going to get rid of waste and toxins. So make sure you're hydrated. One good one also too is lemon water is really good for detoxing. I would say like a turmeric and a turmeric tea like you brought up before, but add a little bit of black pepper in there. Throw in some black pepper and turmeric. You're going to increase the absorption of the turmeric. And even that can be great for detoxing. You know, you can see all these green smoothies and green detox drinks. The best thing for detoxing is just, one, eat healthy. All right. 2, drink a bunch of water. And then 3, go on your walks. Maybe even get a little sweat in. All right, but if you're eating healthy, Cassie, you're going to be detoxing anyway. But those are 2 or 3 that I would kind of suggest. Do you need to have like green smoothies for detoxing? I don't know. I'm not too sure. I've seen like the studies on it, and as long as you're drinking water, you're going to be detoxing. If you're eating healthy, your body's going to be getting rid of toxins and waste and adding nutrients into your diet. So it's kind of like a natural detoxification process right there and then, just by drinking water. Lemon water is a nice one. It's alkaline. There's a lot of nutrients, vitamin C, so it boosts that immune system response, white blood cell response. So that's a good one as well. But you don't overdo it, Don't overthink on the detox. Just eat healthy, and I think you'll be doing just fine. But yeah, it's kind of interesting when you think about it with the weight loss. I think my next discussion on Sunday will be sort of weight loss connected. We're sort of at that time of year where a lot of people are sort of looking at weight loss, or maybe we should even have like a detox discussion. I don't know. Maybe Sunday have a discussion on detoxing and what we could eat for detoxification, and just really how important is it to detox. Because even some of the foods like garlic is one of the things. It's been a while since I've looked it up, but one of the things garlic is well known for is getting rid of like metals in the body, which is quite interesting. Like detoxifying heavy metals. So it has detoxifying properties as well. And I think that's due to its sulfur compounds. So less toxicity in there. Heavy metal toxicity could be like mercury and things like that. So, just tons of foods. That's why I think if you just eat healthy, I think you'll do a good job detoxing in and of itself. Thicker with secret special alkaline water. Yeah, hair feeling thicker. Super special. Yeah, and you know what is good for thickening the hair? What I was just reading was collagen. So taking like a collagen supplement, or consuming foods that are high in collagen, and then maybe taking like a vitamin C supplement with it, or eating something high in vitamin C with it. There was one other, I want to say tea tree oil, but I don't think that's correct. It might be. I know some people make some like homemade, do-it-yourself kind of concoctions with tea tree oil, I believe. And that is supposed to be good for thickening the hair. Maybe I'll go back to making a few more of those type of videos as well. It was always something that was interesting to me. I have a bunch of them up already. I mean, there's almost 5,000 videos. So like, there's definitely some with hair and everything like that. But yeah, that's interesting. Alkaline water, special alkaline water that we drink. That is interesting. Very interesting. But for hair, a good one again would be, and for skin, collagen. Collagen is a nice one, Alpha X. It's a good protein source too if you're vegetarian or vegan. I think there might be a fish one. There might be so you might want to stay away from that. But collagen peptides as sort of your protein source. Castor oil, definitely, Cassie. Yep, I've seen that. I don't think I've ever done a video on castor oil. If I did, I don't remember it, but I've seen that before. And protein and greens and vitamins, all essential, like tea tree. Oh, nice. Yep. Well, that sounds like a great diet. High in protein and greens and vitamins, all essential. Nice. Protein and greens, very good. Yep. Then even if you did have a couple carbs, like some little bit of carbs in there, nothing wrong with that. Veggies, fruit, all in moderation. Sounds like you guys are doing great. You know, a lot of people who come in here, like I said, that's why I didn't throw the vegetables at you. I think it would just be a waste of your time, and I know you guys are intelligent in here. You guys know vegetables are healthy, so that's why we just kind of left it to a discussion of how many. What serving size? I knew you guys even nailed that. So good job. Oh, nice, LFX. Yeah, absolutely. DHT, but you got it in your name. I'm just kidding. Alpha X DHT. No, I know what you're saying. I haven't done too much research on DHT and all that type of stuff, but it's all interesting stuff, that's for sure, especially with some of those enzymes and everything like that. But I think we'll leave it here, guys. We've gone almost an hour and 40 minutes. Jesus, 100 minutes. No wonder I feel like I'm losing my voice. But awesome talk today, guys. Thank you so much, Cassie, Alpha X. You guys kind of led the charge on the discussion today. Krishna, Marilyn, Paulette, Dorcas, Ishmael, thank you so much, everyone, for coming in. Everyone who watched. Again, this will be reposted up on the channel, so in case you missed any of it, if you want to go back and watch, or even there were so many that we went over. So if you want to, miss some of the stuff on fiber or omega-3 discussions and foods, then it'll be up there and you guys can go check it out. But thank you so much for watching, everyone. Again, thank you, Cassie and Alpha X here at the end. You guys, like I said, we had a nice little discussion here. That was great. I'll be back on Sunday. I'm not quite 100% sure what we'll talk about on Sunday. Paulette, always a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming in and for all your nice comments. Never goes unnoticed, trust me. So on Sunday, I think I almost want to talk about something that has to do with weight loss, or like detox. Detox is an interesting one. I really want to go on the belly fat rant, but I think we've already done that. So maybe we'll leave it to something interesting. Thank you for all the thumbs up, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you for sticking in here and having a great discussion. Very much appreciated. And like I said, this will be posted up. Videos coming up. So always be on the lookout for that. If you guys can even share some of them, I know that would be great. It's quite interesting the way that YouTube works these days. Even if you're a subscriber or follower, you're not going to always get the videos. So even if you ring the bell, I'm learning from people. So anyway, you guys can help support is always appreciated. So thank you very much, everyone. Lovely chat today. Had great fun. 100 minutes flew by for me. So, like I said, Sunday will be another interesting discussion. We'll see what route we go on there, but I got a few in mind, so it should be nice. But thank you so much, everyone. I will